Let's have a look inside Blocks Magazine, issue 129. Hey LEGO fans, my name's Graham, I'm the editor of Blocks Magazine, and this is a chance for us to have a look what's inside the newest issue of Blocks Magazine, issue number 129, that has Sherlock Holmes' book Nook on the cover. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's inside this magazine, what some of the thinking is behind it. So if you're waiting for your copy to arrive, this is a little preview. If you haven't read the magazine before, you can find out what's inside it and then go over to our website at blocksmag.com to buy your copy. It's available there now. Now, as you can see, we've got the Lego icon Sherlock Holmes book Nook on the cover with a beautiful image that Daniel Jamieson has designed for us. And Krusty the Clown is poking over the Blocks logo because we're also reviewing the new Krusty Burger set inside. Before we get on to the main feature of this magazine, I just wanted to highlight the contents page. A lot of you are probably familiar with like the Lego Star Wars magazine, the Lego DC magazine, and so on. There's all these great magazines for kids where you get a Lego set on the front and about 30 pages of content with like puzzles, comic books, things like that. This is not that. This is 116 pages written for adult fans. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got to go buy those other Lego magazines as well for the sets, but this magazine's all about the content when it comes to deep Lego fans. The stuff that's in here is the stuff that will take you really deep into your hobby. There's build guides, there's interviews, there's deep dives into specific subjects. This is really for the Lego fan who wants to take their hobby to the next level. And the first example of that this month is our Sherlock Holmes feature. Super proud of how this one turned out. Antica Bracanov is now a design master at the Lego Group, and she came up with this idea for book nooks. What if you could have a Lego set that you display in between the books on your shelves? And with two of her colleagues from graphic design, she talks us through the entire process of coming up with this idea. Now, it's always interesting when you get an interview like this because so often Lego designers are given an assignment that they then go ahead and work on. So maybe they're told, we need a new Jurassic World set that's got to be this size. They'll look at the size, they'll look at the kind of requirements of that model, and then they'll build something to fit that brief. But in this case, the idea came from within the Lego design department. And that always makes it interesting to hear about the genesis of it and how the project evolved over time. Again, if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, you're going to really enjoy this one because, of course, the people who worked on it were really passionate about that character and those stories. So you'll really enjoy hearing about how they thought about how to imbue the model with things from the books that fans would recognize. We're also introducing a whole new style of feature this month that I'm really excited about. My colleague Geneva Durand has been working on these for a good number of months now. She and I kind of batted the idea around. We came up with a format for it. Each month, we're going to look at a masterpiece Lego build, something from the fan community that is just super impressive. And we're kicking it off with this amazing Venice layout. It is absolutely fabulous, the scale of this thing. So every month, there's going to be a big spread where we show you what the build is. Then there's going to be a 2-page interview with the creator of the model where they talk us through what the model is, how it came about, what some of the challenges were, and so on. And then the really cool and fresh bit is we're going to break down some of the features of the model and show you how to build them for yourself. So you can take ideas from other people's builds and put them into your own. And we're also highlighting some of the creative part uses in the model, again, showing you how you can take some of those elements and use them in your own builds in ways that you might not have thought of before. In the review section, we've got a coverage of all of the new Jurassic World Rebirth sets. These things are wild. As usual, you've got all of your dinosaurs, including some new ones. But what's really fun about Jurassic World Rebirth is that there's a lot of variety across the sets. With some of the previous Jurassic World films, there were a lot of blue and grey cars along with dinosaurs, whereas this time, you've got gas stations, you've got ancient temples, you've got some vehicles as well, of course, but it's a really interesting mix. And there's, with the vehicles in particular, there's slightly old school Jurassic Park vibes from them that fans of a certain vintage will probably enjoy. But the reviews this month will help you get an idea of which sets will be for you, which ones you can maybe skip. Moving on to our Star Wars feature this month, we're looking at the creation of the Ultimate Collector Series Jango Fett Starship with model designer Jackson Hughes, and he talks us through how he delivered the prequel version of this ship. The Boba Fett version has been delivered many times over the years, but Jango Fett's version has been very scarce within the LEGO portfolio. So to hear about the creation of this big, epic display version is really, really fascinating, especially how Jackson delivered the really curved shape of the vehicle. And as we all know, LEGO elements are not always the easiest thing to turn into curves. We then have a kind of fun, light-hearted interview with the LEGO Star Wars design team, where they tell us about some of their favourite films, their favourite characters, their favourite LEGO elements, and that we did that interview at Star Wars Celebration Japan, so it felt like the right environment to find out about the designers' own personal fandoms. It's not all sets in Blocks magazine, of course. We're also going to the Corinium Museum this month to find out about their Brucus Orpheus exhibition. So they're conveying stories of Greek mythology through Lego builds in a way to engage visitors to the museum in a fun and interesting way. We find out how these models were designed, how they've been integrated with the museum's exhibits. It's a lot of fun and gives you a different taste of Lego creativity. And then, speaking of Lego creativity, we talked to someone who's been at the Lego Group for a period of time now, Senior Design Master Wes Talbot. Wes talks to us about his career, which started as a concept artist working on Lego Elves, coming up with the whole idea of that theme with his colleagues, and then moving on to work on it as a model designer. Since then, he has worked on so many cool things that we did not even have time to talk about all of them, despite the fact we sat and built a Lego set together for 45 minutes. We cover Dungeons and Dragons, we cover Disney 100, we cover the Lego Movie 2 and seeing his model get destroyed on the big screen. It's a really fascinating conversation. And if you're someone who thinks maybe you might want to be a Lego model designer yourself one day, then the insight that Wes gives you in this deep dive interview is really, really intriguing. It's really, really useful potentially if you see ways that you can apply it to what you want to do yourself one day. That is a whistle-stop tour of what's in this particular issue of Blocks magazine. As ever, we're super proud of what we've put together here. As I say, you've got your designer interviews, you've got tips and tricks for building your own creations, and you've got reviews of the latest Lego sets. Plus our front-end section where we provide the latest news and commentary on that news, giving you some context for it and having some debates amongst the writing team. But head to blocksmag.com if you'd like to get a copy and consider taking out a really good value subscription package that will save you money and get the magazine delivered straight to your door every single month. I hope you enjoyed this latest issue of Blocks magazine.